Good evening and welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday night racing series, ARCA series, brought to you by Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Getting ready for a good one here tonight. We are at the world's greatest Coliseum. That's right, it's Bristol, baby. It's the last great Coliseum, I should say. We're here in Thunder Valley getting ready for a fantastic race tonight. Tonight's race is a little different of a sponsor than we usually used to see it. Tonight's race is brought to you by, I have it here right in front of me. Tonight's race is brought to you by JR Farms. It's the JR Farms 120 here tonight in support of John Ross's grandfather. He comes from a long line of 7 generations of farmers growing cattle and soybeans through northern Illinois. His grandfather's worked on the farm his entire life. He's currently 89 years old, battling lung cancer in the hospice this week, and we're here supporting him tonight with the race sponsor. So, John Ross, good luck with everything. We're all here thinking about you and your family. Of course, thoughts and prayers go out to you, and a great way to support your grandfather with a little memorial race for him. So, well, we want to get things underway here. You can see about 2 minutes left here in practice as we see John Ross making his way around the racetrack. Bristol, a very interesting track. It's actually kind of a multi-lane track. Some drivers you're going to see run in the higher lane, like you see Christopher Simon kind of run in the middle, then pulling it down to the bottom. Some drivers are going to try to be bottom feeders and work right down on the bottom lane the best they can. What you're seeing most of these drivers doing right now, you see Bill Gentry running that higher lane right now. You'll be able to get a better drive off on the high side than you will down on the low side. But side-by-side racing is going to happen here tonight. We should see a lot of it. I am going to apologize in advance. iRacing did just update their UI, their user interface. So every once in a while, if a driver talks on the radio here, we'll actually see his name pop up in the bottom of the screen. It's cut off a little bit, so I do apologize. Doesn't look the greatest. I wasn't able to get that adjusted before the race started. Hopefully we'll have that fixed up for you next week. But we got about 50 seconds left here in practice. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. See, Jamie Horn still your points leader by 75 points over Christopher Simon. Just McMahon 80 points behind Horn, but 5 points behind Simon. That battle for second place is heating up. Brandon Lopez only 9 points back behind McMahon. And 17 points Hunter Simpson is, 12 points back Hunter Simpson is behind Lopez. So your top 5 incredibly tight, separated by just a few points. As you can see, the rest of the points on the screen there. We'll keep that up on the screen so you can see where your favorite driver is in the point standings. As the the checker flag is getting ready to fall here tonight. Of course, we've got the chat open, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Kick, or over on Twitch. We do appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. It really does help us out, that little like button. So if you go ahead and hit that, it would be appreciated. Of course, tonight's series, this is the Trackside NASCAR Outlet ARCA series, and Trackside NASCAR Outlet's an authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of diecast, including cup, Xfinity, truck, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything NASCAR, including full-size and mini helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by and check out their store, follow them on Facebook, or check out their website at www.tracksideNASCAROutlet.com. As drivers are making their way out onto the racetrack for qualifying. And Christopher Simon, one of the first drivers to make his way out there. Mark Dumont, Mike Leftwich, Jason Ross, Stephen Bonomo, also all out on the racetrack right now. And qualifying is going to go awfully quick here. About 15-second laps is what these drivers are going to be pulling tonight as Jason Ross goes to the top of the board with a 15:10. Simon's first lap is going to be good enough for a 15:37. Here's Jason Ross coming across the stripe. And his second lap is a little bit quicker at a 14:98. Mike Leftwich is going to come across the line here, and he's going to run a 14.99 as Christopher Simon goes with a 14.92. So some quick laps out there tonight. So here's Daniel Wilkerson. Wilkerson comes across the stripe, and he's going to go 7th fastest on his first lap. See if he's able to improve that here on his second. And Wilkerson's second lap is his better one. It goes 15.42. Good enough for the 7th spot. Here comes Brandon Lopez coming down to the stripe, run that high lane, trying to get the momentum for his qualifying lap. And he's going to stay up on that high side here. A little risk versus reward here running that high lane. It can be a little bit quicker, but iRacing doesn't like when you brush the wall. If you make any contact with the wall, it will disqualify your time. Lopez's first lap is going to be good enough for the 8th position, a 15.60. Moves down to the bottom side for his second lap here, right down to that yellow line, or as close to it as he can get. Off the corner, Lopez's second lap is going to be a 15.02. That's going to be good enough for 5th. Moving Ken Byers back into the 6th position. Justin McMahon on his second lap right now. Down across the stripe. McMahon's second lap is going to be good enough for the 6th spot. Hunter Simpson coming, taking the green flag. We hear him working that throttle, having to lift a little bit. Going to move up to the high side here, trying to waste this lap a little bit. And he's going to move down to the bottom here, I think, on his second lap, which he will. Right down on the yellow line. First driver I've really seen able to stick it down on that yellow line through 1 and 2. Does the same thing down through turns 3 and 4. This is going to be a great lap. Let's see where he comes across the stripe. And it is at a 14.90 for Simpson. He's going to jump right up to the top of the leaderboard as Michael Dow currently on his second lap coming down the backstretch. And Michael Dow across the stripe. He's going to move up into 9th. As John Smith in the 10 Pizza Planet machine out on the racetrack. With about 50 seconds left here, he'll easily be able to get both laps in. First lap for Smith. I think he might have brushed the wall a little bit because it did not record a time for him. So this time comes down into turns 3 and 4, not quite as low as we saw Hunter Simpson getting as he comes across the stripe. And Smith's going to go 3rd quickest with a 14.95. 15 seconds left. That's going to do it for all the drivers here tonight. As we get ready to grid these drivers up here in the Trackside NASCAR Outlet ARCA Series. Of course, as I mentioned before, Trackside NASCAR Outlet's an authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of diecast, including Cup, Xfinity truck, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything NASCAR, including full-size and mini helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by and check out their store, follow them on Facebook, or check out their website at tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Of course, you're also brought to you tonight by Group 6. Rev up your brand's potential with Group 6 at every turn of the Doghouse racing season. As your creative marketing powerhouse, we're here to fuel your success, accelerate your impact, and steer your brand towards victory. Group 6, where every race is an opportunity to outshine and outperform. Discover more at group6inc.com. And here is your starting lineup here tonight. As I mentioned, Hunter Simpson with a fantastic lap of 14.901. Good enough for the pole. Christopher Simon going to roll off in that 21 machine from the 2nd spot. Back in row number 2, we'll find John Smith in the 10, followed by Jason Ross in the 00. Mike Leftwich rolls off 5th with Chris Leftwich in Excuse me. I tried muting myself in the 6th spot. Tried to mute that one. Apologize for that, everyone. Chris Leftwich in the 6th spot. So row 3 covered by the Leftwich boys. Then Brandon Lopez and Justin McMahon back in row number 4. Ken Byers and Michael Dow round out your top 10 with Mark Dumont in the 14 and Kevin Brown in the 33 back in the 12th spot. 13th will be Daniel Wilkerson with Stephen Bonomo back in the 14th position. Josh Cully rolls off 15th with Eric Warman and Bill Gentry rounding out the field here tonight. We're going to get that taken care of right there. That way that doesn't pop up on the screen anymore. Apologize for the little bit of ugliness there, but that is the new iRacing UI, zoomed in a little bit. It's a beautiful look to the to what iRacing has done. It's a little cleaner, a little more modern, and if you've been on iRacing a long time, you know this is the 3rd iteration of the UI, and for me, I think it's probably one of the best looking ones so far. Also, a little unique thing about Bristol here in the race here tonight, you'll notice as they come down through the corner, see that yellow line here as they come through turns 3 and 4. In turns 1 and 2, you'll actually see a blue line. That's because they will be using a single pit road, so any driver that comes down pit road will have to use both the front and back pits. I think I am making a liar out of myself. It looks like this may be dual pit road. I am going to double check. Well, I made a liar out of myself. They will be running dual pit road here tonight, which is even more difficult for the drivers because some drivers might end up pitting on the backstretch and they're going to have to figure out where their pit stall is all by themselves. So here we go. We're coming down to the start. Pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Hunter Simpson on the inside lane will lead him down to the starting zone. Well, the green flag will fly, and we are racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Great jump for Hunter Simpson, already out in front. Christopher Simon able to clear that second row as John Ross and Jason Ross and John Smith go at it. Ross going to move up into that 3rd spot on the high lane. And on fresh tires, the high lane will have the advantage, but as the run goes on, that should quickly switch as Mike Leftwich and Chris Leftwich are going at it side by side. Ooh, Leftwich, Chris up into the outside wall, able to hold on to it. What a great save. Loses the position to his father, but doesn't look like there's too much damage to that 83 machine. We'll take a look here as it comes by, see if we can see any damage to the right side of the machine. That looks like it's going to be okay, so he'll be able to continue on as Brandon Lopez is going to take a look down to the inside. Not quite close enough to make that stick. Right behind Justin McMahon takes a look down to the inside of Kenneth Byers. Side by side through turns 3 and 4, trying to figure out where I am on the racetrack. And McMahon is going to make his way up into the 8th position as Kenneth Byers now runs side by side with the 14 of Mark Dumont. Ooh, Dumont gets a little loose down underneath the 99. Able to hold on to it as Kevin Brown right there in the mix as well, trying to move himself forward. Meanwhile, Hunter Simpson pulling away from Christopher Simon. The gap now just about a half a second as Simon is under pressure from Jason Ross. And right behind Jason Ross is John Smith. McMahon trying to put some pressure here on Lopez. You know, you mentioned these two are awfully tight in the points battle. As John Smith now underneath Jason Ross. This is a battle for the 2nd spot. Or sorry, for the 3rd spot. As Christopher Simon has gotten away from these two as they're running side by side. Mike Leftwich coming up into the mix as well. John Smith on the bottom, trying to use that bottom lane. This is where that high side momentum, it's a little bit slower getting into the corner, but you can get that good run off the corner. That's where right now the tires are kind of even on both high and low side. But unfortunately, they're going to lose a ton of time battling side by side like this, as now the gap to Christopher Simon continues to grow. And we can take a look at that right here by going to a delta. If we go to John Ross here, you can see how quickly Christopher Simon is now pulling away. Well, it keeps going back to these two here, so as they battle side by side, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to pull that here. Right behind, we see Justin McMahon battling with Brandon Lopez. So now Christopher Simon's broken out to a 2.5 lead over those two running side by side. He's still about a half second behind Hunter Simpson. If we go up here on the blimp, you can see just how much time. Remember, these two were just on the back bumper of Christopher Simon a few laps ago. And now Christopher Simon's pulled out to that big of a gap between these two drivers. As Simon continues to try to run down the 2 of Hunter Simpson. I'm sorry, the 5 of Hunter Simpson. Well, some battling going on back here. We see Daniel Wilkerson looking down underneath Eric Warman. This is a battle for the 12th position. Great battle going on here. We see Bill Gentry in this mix as well. Ken Byers trying to work down underneath Christopher Simon. We saw Simon up into the wall earlier, and there's a little bit of damage from that. Doesn't look like it's too bad, but right along here with Leftwich, and yeah, I don't really see any damage to the right side of that car. Normally you'd see the fender sticking up if there was heavy damage, but Ken Byers now working down underneath Leftwich. Got to pull up the points over here on the second screen to get an idea where everybody is running. We just saw McMahon able to get around Brandon Lopez. We got Justin McMahon, Brandon Lopez. They're in a bit of a battle. Lopez 9 points behind McMahon, who runs back third in points. As you see, McMahon and Ken Byers continuing to battle out on the racetrack. And Brandon Lopez in that Taco Bell machine, working down underneath the 83 of Christopher Simon. Speaking of Taco Bell, quick shout out to Taco Bell bringing back the Y2K menu. Don't know if anybody's seen that, but as a 90s kid growing up, it was nostalgic, to say the least, to see that menu. So shout out Taco Bell. Gotta call them out for it. But Brandon Lopez and Christopher Leftwich continue doing battle here side by side. We are at lap 32 of 120. Again, stage at lap 60. We're not going to break for a stage, but points will be awarded at lap 60 as Justin McMahon just got up into the outside wall. They're 3 wide here at Bristol. McMahon, a lot of speeds thrown away there up on that high side, getting up against the outside wall. He's going to lose 3 spots here. To Ken Byers, Brandon Lopez, and Chris Leftwich. And in danger of losing another one here to Eric Warman, who's taking a look down underneath. Let's see if there's damage to this. Looks like the car is in okay shape, so he's going to try to gather himself up and get back in it as he's going to work on the back bumper of Chris Leftwich. Taking a look off the back bumper right behind Eric Warman. Josh Cully in a little bit of a battle. While all that's going on, up front, Hunter Simpson continues the lead as he comes across the stripe. He's about a straightaway away from lap traffic. '28 of Daniel Wilkerson just entering turn 1. Here comes Simpson down into turn 1. So, yeah, we take a look right along here with Simpson. He can see that traffic just out in front. Not just is he catching them, they are running side by side as the leader. That is really not what you want to see. There's a gaggle of cars running like that. Stephen Bonomo, Mike Leftwich, Daniel Wilkerson, Mark Dumont, and Michael Dow all in this mix. Ooh, Leftwich, Mike Leftwich up into the outside wall. That's going to lose him some momentum. Justin McMahon, Chris Leftwich, side-by-side battle going on here. This is a battle for the 7th and 8th position. As McMahon trying to get those positions back that he lost. Right behind Josh Cully, getting a little loose behind as well. Everybody able to hold on to it so far. Meanwhile, up front, Christopher Simon has cut the lead down on Hunter Simpson. He is right there on the back bumper. And Jason Ross right back in the mix as well. So Ross, who was almost a second and a half behind these two, have now made their way up to it. And as I say that, here comes our leaders catching the back of the pack. Lap traffic gonna come into play here as Christopher Simon continues to follow in the tire marks of Hunter Simpson. What was the leaders really stretching it out. They've now caught each other, and this is going to get exciting as they work their way through lap traffic. Of course, as I mentioned, Jason Ross, our race sponsor here tonight. Emotional race for him as he tries to get up here on the podium, or even better, get himself a win here. And with 120 laps, these drivers should be really close on fuel. I think these cars can get about 100 laps 80 to 100 laps on fuel, so it's going to take them at least the halfway here. As we have just 10 laps left here in the stage. Christopher Simon trying to take advantage of these stage points to eat into Jamie Horn's lead a little bit and try to keep Justin McMahon a little further behind him. Jason Ross currently 18th in the point standings, but trying to get every point he can here as well, as our leaders are now nose to tail, and Ross right there in the mix. Here comes Christopher Simon taking a look up to the high side as they come down the backstretch and into turn number 3. A couple cars coming down pit road right now. We've got the 14 and the 8 both on pit road. Ooh, Christopher Simon bounces off the wall right there in front of Kevin Brown. He's going to lose a spot to Jason Ross. John Smith right there in the mix as well. Kevin Brown is currently now the first car 1 lap down. Now Jason Ross trying to do everything he can, trying to win this stage here. As we are coming to 4 laps to go here in the stage. Still a great battle up here at the front, as Hunter Simpson about to catch some more lap traffic with Michael Dow and Steven Bonomo right in front of him. Dow's going to take up to the high lane. He's going to let the train move down to the low side. Looks like Bonomo's going to fight it off a little bit more if he can. Next time by that was the stage. Hunter Simpson will be your stage winner. John Ross, John Smith, Christopher Simon, Kenneth Byers, Brandon Lopez, Chris Leftwich, Josh Cully, Eric Warman, and Justin McMahon. McMahon battling side by side with Eric Warman. And you see Josh Cully and Bill Gentry battling side by side, and right behind them, already about to start lapping the top 10, is the rest of the field. John Ross trying to work. Oh, we see I'm sorry, that's Mike Leftwich on fresh tires. So now you're able to see what these fresh tires are going to do. Is Mike Leftwich going to make it 3 wide around the high side with the leader in a lap car? Oh, some contact there between Leftwich and Cully. Leftwich going to get one of those laps back as Chris Leftwich is down on pit road. John Smith going to be pitting here. It sounds like Eric Warman coming down on pit road. You see John Smith making his way down on the pit road. Hunter Simpson going to be pitting here. So Christopher Simon going to move up to the high side. Gets down on the pit road safely. And it feels like you're crawling coming down pit road. doing top speeds of about 140 miles an hour. Then you come down pit road. Here comes Jason Ross down on the pit road, down to 35 miles an hour. Looks like we've had our first retiree of the race, and that is the 14 of Mark Dumont. So Christopher Simon going to take over the lead of the race. You see all these cars with mixed tire packages. Oh, we got one around. Kevin Brown around on the front stretch. Hunter Simpson caught up in that one as well. Daniel Wilkerson up in that one. That is going to bring out our first wreckage rewind of the night. As we try to pull this one back up, and man, this is just a wrong place, wrong time kind of moment here. Trying to get this all straightened out here on this end. Whoops. Had it all straightened out right there for a second there. So Kevin Brown, 3 wide. See the 4 of Bill Gentry all the way up against the outside wall. Christopher Simon trying to get around the 33. Eric Warman comes off the corner, makes some contact with the 10 of John Smith. And then Warman gets into the left rear of Kevin Brown, sends him hard into the inside wall. Hunter Simpson looked like he might have got some net code out of that. That's some real bad net code. Out of the 5, Daniel Wilkerson just nowheres to go. It looks like the 5 of Simpson able to get by all right. But, man, looking at Simpson's car here, it doesn't look like he got hit. I think it looks like just a bad case, a really bad net coat. Yeah, you can see the car jump sideways trying to get by. Fortunately, really no harm, no foul for him. More so just for the 33 of Kevin Brown. So Daniel Wilkerson and Kevin Brown on pit road getting their cars fixed up. Michael Dow getting new tires. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Christopher Simon currently at the start-finish line. The field, I'm sorry, on the backstretch, the field just taking the 1 to go. Here comes Michael Dow. He's going to zip by on the low side. Looks like pace car is going to pick him up here just as they're getting ready to go up. The caution comes back out, so we are going to delay the start by 1 lap as we get everybody re-racked, restacked here and getting ready to refire. So Christopher Simon going to be your leader here. Going to restart on the high side. All right, so we are re-racked, restacked. Lights on the pace car are off. We are getting ready to go back racing here with 44 laps to go. Christopher Simon going to lead them down to the restart zone. Green flag flies. We are back racing here at Bristol. As Brandon Lopez is going to take a move down to the inside. Oh, look, Simon gets sideways. Almost loses it in front of the field. Able to hold on to it, though. Just going to lose a few positions here now as here comes the 5 of Hunter Simpson, who is currently being scored a lap down. So you can see the tower. Only 4 cars on the lead lap right now. Lopez, McMahon, Simon, and Dow. Everybody else 1 lap down as Hunter Simpson is trying to get that lap back. Comes Simon side by side with Dow, and see what's going on here on my screen. It's Hunter Simpson, actually Hunter Simpson is currently being scored 2 laps down. He is back in the 10th position. As Brandon Lopez takes over the lead, Justin McMahon sits in 2nd. Michael Dow in the 3rd spot, Christopher Simon in 4th. As Jason Ross being scored in the 8th position, 2 laps down. As caution flies, it looks like it is for Chris Leftwich, who's looped it around there in the turn 4. It's going to bring out our 2nd record rewind of the night. We try to take a look here to see what happened between Leftwich and Hunter Simpson. Ooh, see the Simpsons car disappeared for a second. The 83 goes around. Another case of netcode. Looks like Leftwich is able to keep it up against the wall. Ooh, Christopher Simon got the outside wall trying to avoid him. Looks like everybody, for the most part, made it through here. So we're going to have one driver getting the wave around here. It looks like Ken Byers is going to get the lucky dog, get himself back up onto the lead lap. So we're getting him ready to re-rack him, restack him, and refire him. John Smith, who was one of the drivers on the lead lap, going to come down, get fresh tires. This could be a great advantage for him, getting those freshies here. See what kind of advantage that works out for him. We are re-racked, restacked, getting ready to refire here. The field makes their way down into turn number 4. Green flag is back in the air, and we are back racing here. Great jump for Brandon Lopez as Justin McMahon sits back there in the 2nd position. Michael Dow, John Smith going at it back here as Jason Ross now tries to make his way back up towards the front, trying to get one of his laps back. He has the first car 2 laps down. So some great racing here as Brandon Lopez now under attack from the 24 of Justin McMahon. Again, Jason Ross right there in the mix, although he is currently 2 laps down, trying to get one of those laps back to try to get a lucky dog if we get another caution. But we've got 30 laps to go here. So John Smith currently just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 14.76. A flying lap there for John Smith on those fresh tires. Again, he just came down pit road in pit. Currently he's sitting back, kind of stuck back here in traffic. He's got the 5 of Hunter Simpson right in front of him. For Simpson currently being scored back in the 10th position as Brandon Lopez continues to pull away. As McMahon now under attack from the 00. Again, this is not for position. This is just so Jason Ross can try to get himself in an opportunity to get back onto the lead lap. John Smith, even though he's put down some fast laps, unfortunately stuck back in traffic right now. And just not able to do anything with those fresh tires, although he is about a second, just over a second behind third place Michael Dow. Dow is stuck in traffic. As we can see, Jason Ross has now gotten around the 24 of Justin McMahon. McMahon's hoping to follow that 00 up to the front as Brandon Lopez's lead is now 1.4 seconds. Michael Dow sits back in the third spot. He's got Ken Byers right there. Ooh, some contact there between Bill Gentry and Ken Byers. As we see John Smith currently in the fourth position, making his way around Eric Warman. Warman currently being scored back in the 8th position, 1 lap down. Sorry, 2 laps down. Only 2 drivers currently being scored 1 lap down. That is Ken Byers in the 99 and Bill Gentry in the 4. Everybody else 2 laps down behind, including Steven Bonomo and Josh Cully, who are being scored 3 laps down. And Mike Leftwich 4 laps down as Christopher Simon, Daniel Wilkinson both being scored on pit road. Kevin Brown has retired from the race, along with Mark Dumont. But the laps are clicking away quickly as they come across the stripe this time. There'll be just 15 laps to go. Brandon Lopez has a 1.5 second lead over second place Justin McMahon. And then behind McMahon, it's a second, almost 2 seconds back to third place Michael Dow. Oh, take that back. Michael Dow just got passed by the fastest car on the racetrack, and that is John Smith. So John Smith now up into the 3rd position. And Jason Ross wants to run down Brandon Lopez to get himself back onto the lead lap with a chance. And he is not too far behind that 3 of Brandon Lopez. You see him on the screen right there. don't think there's going to be enough time to get around and pass him. However, if he's able to, that could be huge for him. If we have ourselves a couple green-white checkers. Hunter Simpson, Christopher Simon doing battle back here. This is actually for position as Leftwich in the 8th spot and Simpson in the 9th spot. And we have 10 laps to go as we cross the line. Actually, 9 laps to go as we cross the line this time. See, Justin McMahon has Ken Byers right behind him. Byers currently your lucky dog. Behind them, we see John Smith getting around Jason Ross. Something happened to Jason Ross. I thought I heard somebody up in the outside wall. That must have been Ross. As Bill Gentry battling with Michael Dow here. Dow is still 1 lap ahead of Gentry. As the interval now between Justin McMahon and Brandon Lopez is 1.5 seconds. But McMahon's been gaining on him every lap, it seems. Take a look at the history here. See, the last 2 laps, McMahon's been just a little bit quicker. See what it looks like this lap as well. Yeah, that time Lopez able to gain a little bit of that back. So 5 laps to go here at Bristol. Brandon Lopez with over 1.5 seconds lead. As the battle back here between Christopher Simon and Hunter Simpson continues. This is not what Brandon Lopez wants to see or hear about. With a 1.5 second lead over a fast Justin McMahon. Oh, Cully gets up into the outside wall. Able to hold on to it. No harm, no foul. Coming in 2 laps to go. Cully up in the outside wall that time. As Brandon Lopez comes off of turn number 4. White flag is in the air. 1 more lap to go. While we've got a battle for 2nd place, McMahon and Smith. Oh, McMahon gets up in the outside wall. He's going to lose that 2nd spot. Possibly Brandon Lopez going to come across the stripe and win it here tonight. John Smith going to get that 2nd position. Justin McMahon with a podium back in 3rd. And Michael Dow coming home in the 4th spot. 5th place, Ken Byers, 1 lap down. But what a job for Brandon Lopez. A little bit of luck on his side here tonight. He's going to come down and burn it down here on the front stretch. So he burns it down here on the front stretch. Going to park it right here on the line. And we'll take a look at our final results here. As Brandon Lopez going to make himself a Polish victory lap here. Brandon Lopez, your winner. John Smith going to bring it home in 2nd. Justin McMahon on the podium in 3rd. Michael Dow and Ken Byers round out your top 5. Bill Gentry comes home in 6th. Jason Ross in the 7th spot. Hunter Simpson, who had the dominating car all race long, back in 8th. Eric Warman 9th. And Chris Leftwich round out your top 10. Josh Cully comes home in the 11th spot. Stephen Bonomo back in 12th. 13th is Mike Leftwich. Christopher Simon retires back in the 14th position. Kevin Brown, Daniel Wilkerson, and Mark Dumont round out the field here tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway. Lopez continues to burn him down here on the front stretch, and we get ready to talk to our top 3 But not before talking about our great partners here in the Trackside NASCAR Outlet ARCA series, including our series sponsor, Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Trackside NASCAR Outlet is an authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of diecast, including cup, Xfinity, truck, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything NASCAR, from full-size and mini helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by their store, check them out on Facebook, or check out their website at www.tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Also, Group 6, rev up your brand's potential with Group 6 at every turn of the Doghouse racing season. As your creative marketing powerhouse, we're here to fuel your success, accelerate your impact, and steer your brand towards victory. Group 6, where every race is an opportunity to outshine and outperform. Discover more at group6. Of course, we can't forget about our great partner over at the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. To find out which Butt Kicker product is right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, links are down below in the description. Don't forget to check out us as well over at IntensityRacing.com. If you're a small-time race team looking for some swag, get a quote today over at IntensityRacing.com. And, of course, we want to once again shout out John Ross and his grandfather. Of course, tonight's race was brought to you by JR Farms, John Ross's grandfather. John Ross comes from a family of farmers. He's a seventh-generation farmer himself. They grow cattle and soybeans in northern Illinois. His father, who's worked his whole life on the farm, currently 89 years old, and fighting lung cancer. I was put on hospice this week. But we're all thinking about you, John, over there, and thoughts and prayers with your family and the support of the league, I know, and a great way to get the word out, talk about your grandfather with this little memorial race for him. Let's see if we can talk with our third place finisher, waiting for McMahon to make his way down into the waiting room. Maybe. I think I'm just going to move him down there myself. All right, let's get a word here with our top three, starting with our third place finisher, Justin McMahon. Justin, you got Josh up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Josh.
Man, great run for you here tonight. I know battling with John Smith with the fresh tires there right at the end. Coming home on the podium, though, it's a good points night for you here tonight, trying to eat into the guys above you. Talk about the race, though. It kind of seemed like the pits, the caution fell during the pit cycle. That really caught a few people out, but you were fortunate to be out there so when it came out.
Yeah, I had some nose damage there. I blew the corner and almost took out the 8 car there. So I was kind of struggling with it, and I decided to just run it out as long as I could and hope that there might be a caution under green flag stops, and it worked out, fortunately for us. And I'm not sure what happened to keep everyone trapped a lap down. I don't know if the 21 didn't pit in that cycle and trapped everyone else from getting the wave around or not, but it ended up working out in our favor after I was able to make my pit stop. Yeah, it worked out. It was a really weird night, especially with the new update and stuff not working the way that it should. But overall, I'll take it. I didn't realize I can't read my relative with the new update. It's so blurry. It looks like it's from Nintendo 64 days in VR for some reason. And I couldn't tell that Jonathan Smith, I didn't know that he was in third, tracking me down there at the end. So by the time he got to me, I saw him on my bumper. I was like, uh-oh, I don't know who the hell this guy is. And then next thing you know, I popped up and it showed white. I was like, oh, he's for position. By that time, it was already too late and he was gone. But yeah, I'll take third. It was good points night for me.
Yeah, especially with Christopher Simon having to retire here with some damage. You were 5 points behind him. You're going to gain quite a few points on him. Jamie Horn not being here tonight. It's going to be some more points you're going to gain here tonight. So a great points night for you overall. So congratulations on that. Next week, we're going to move on over to Texas Motor Speedway. How do you like your chances there?
Texas has been good. I don't know. Is it the Legacy? I'm not sure if it's Legacy or the new one.
Um,
I believe it's the new version of Texas, so that's should be should be all right. I've been decent there in the past. I have never raced there in this car, but um, same concept, right? So hopefully it'll be all right. I guess we'll wait and find out.
it is the new Texas, confirming it right now in Sim Racer Hub. So
Okay.
um, I know how these cars used to handle on the mile and a halfs and tracks like that. So not really sure what they've done to update. I haven't driven the cars yet today. But it looks like there's some good racing out there. It looks like the cars were really hooked up tonight and they were really racy. So it's a great job for you coming home in P3 here tonight. Of course, Justin, before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Oh yeah, you guys for the broadcast as usual. You guys do a great job. Um, Daniel and everybody at Doghouse that runs the league, and Group 6 for he doesn't sponsor this car, but he sponsors the league and the Cup Series league that we do, plus a couple races here and there. So shout out to him at Group 6, and yeah, congrats to Brandon on the win.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium here. I know it's been a tough season for you, so glad to see you on the podium here tonight. Good luck next week at Texas, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a great night.
You too.
That was third place, Justin McMahon. Let's bring in second place, John Smith. John, you got Josh up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, what a run for you here tonight. You came flying back on those fresh tires after that last stop. It looked like it was going to hurt you starting way back in the field like that. But then you just started clicking off some laps. You're able to get back by Justin McMahon to come home in the runner-up spot. Talking with Justin, he didn't even know that you were for position until it was too late. So great strategy call there at the end. Talk us through your race and the strategy you had, because you were another one of those drivers that really benefited from the caution coming out at the right time for you.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Baker Knapp and Hunter Foley. Hunter was doing the spotter side tonight. I think Baker was kind of more the crew chief, but they were the ones that were fixating that strategy for me, because I am not a good strategy planner. But they were telling me when to pit, when to go, and stuff like that. So good call by them. We came out there and had to get through some lap traffic. I was kind of driving more aggressive than I usually do to try to get through some lap traffic. So I don't know if I ruffled any feathers. I hope not. I was just trying to get up to the front really quick. But yeah, I wasn't expecting much. I only practiced maybe the last 15 minutes of practice and was surprised how well the mid on entry was, and kind of drop it down low to the exit, and that seemed to work out really well. But that was kind of the strategy for tonight.
Yeah, it seemed like from up here, because I haven't driven these cars yet in this new update, it looks like that high lane is no longer the dominant line here at Bristol. Seems like you kind of want to wrap that yellow line, and the high lane can still get the run on the fresh tires, but as the tires wear down, that bottom lane becomes the prevalent line. Is that kind of what you were seeing all night here tonight as well?
Yeah, I couldn't hold it on the high side. I tried maybe 3 or 4 laps in practice, and it just seemed like it wanted to plow. When you get up there, even coming off a lot, you were losing about 2 or 3 tenths. And if you were gaining, you were plowing it super hard, especially coming out of 4. But I've found out that kind of entering middle helped the car rotate and almost seemed to set pretty well. And as soon as the car is set, you can punch it out and wrap the yellow line on exit. And it seemed to work out pretty well.
Well, a great run for you here tonight here at Bristol. Next week we move on to Texas Motor Speedway. How do you like your chances there?
I like Texas a lot. I used to hate that track and then kind of figured out some things. And I like it a lot, but I also know the guys in this league are very good at Texas. It's probably one of the strong suits for those guys. So it's going to be a lot of good competition. Pretty tough. I'm going to have to definitely get some practice time in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, congratulations here tonight. Coming in a runner-up here. And before we let you go, anyone want to thank, a shout-out you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I wanted to shout out Baker doing the crew chief side tonight, Baker Knapping, and Hunter Foley doing the spotter side. Usually for me every Tuesday night. And they've been with me Hunter's been with me the whole season. So thanks to those guys for keeping me safe out there and keeping me going forward at least. Shout out to Nap Daddy Racing, Engine 4 Coffee Company, Premier Setup Shops. Shout out to for you doing the broadcast. We were just talking about on our other stream about how we kind of emulate what you do and pick up tips and tricks. And I know it's not easy, so I appreciate what you do. Shout out to the admins keeping this league going and running. And I can't remember all the sponsors for the league right now, but Trackside and Auto Pros, Group 6, and JR Farms. I want to make sure I give them a shout out tonight for Jason Ross.
Awesome, man. Well, absolutely. And again, congratulations on the runner-up. Good luck next week at Texas, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Have a great night. So as your second place finisher, John Smith, let's get in your winner here tonight. Driver of the 3 Taco Bell machine, Brandon Lopez. Brandon, you got Josh up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. What a win for you here tonight. Saw the Polish victory lap. You were excited about this win here tonight. Again, another one where the strategy just fell in the right place at the right time. And you're no slouch there. Once that green flag came back out on that final run, you were able to pull away by about a second and a half when you took the checker flag. So you had the speed there at the end. Start of the race didn't seem that good for you. Talk us through your race. What happened there at the beginning, and were you able to learn to get back up towards the front?
Yes, sir. Very first thing is that I initially came into this race just trying to survive. I had such bad experiences with Bristol in the past, with like official races and the other rig race. So I just trying to survive basically throughout the race. So just let everyone battle out together and trying to figure out, okay, my pace, how to get into the rhythm and all that. Once the pit cycle started going on, I noticed that my fuel was like a half a lap short, so I decided to clutch and try to save some fuel, and that helped a lot because that made me stay out for a longer time while everyone was getting into the pits. And then the caution came out on the right time, and then that allowed me to pit in with 3 or 4 other drivers that was in the lead lap. And from there on, I just battled for the win with Justin and Jonathan.
Yeah, and it seems like you got out to a big lead at the right time because Jonathan was coming there at the end on those new tires. Did you see that in your mirror? Did you know he had the fresh tires, and did that concern you if a caution was going to come out right there at the end?
No, so I was battling with Justin for a little bit, and we had such a great battle for after that restart. And once I started pulling away, I started to have a little bit of anxiety, not gonna lie with you, because I'm never really in this position to clutch or claim the win. So I was just really trying to focusing on my lines and um, braking and turning at the right time. So just mostly just trying to focus on getting to the final lap, and then from there on out, I saw Jonathan coming by, but from there I figured that I'll be good enough to claim the victory.
Well, next week we move on to Texas Motor Speedway. How do you like your chances there?
Um, I feel like it's a little mixed. I never raced on this car before, so I'm definitely gonna need some practice and some advice. But it's a little bit tricky. Turns 1 and 2 is a bit tricky to for me, especially to get a good run. So I'm gonna have to get some practice on that. But as long as I survive, that's all that matters for me.
Well, again, awesome job here getting the victory here tonight. Of course, before I let you go, you do have a shout out in the chat here tonight. Michael Lopez says, "Great job, Brandon. Love you and proud of you." Of course, before I let you go, anyone want to thank any shout out you gotta give here tonight?
Yes, thanks for the shout out. First and foremost, I want to thank God for the opportunity to go ahead and give me a great group of people to hang out with, and the league, and this great interaction with people here. And just want to shout out to my dad, his girlfriend, and his my grandfather watching back home, my family, and my teammates from being in the call with me. We were just having a good time in the call, and everyone was pretty chill. So just all shout outs to them, and then shout out to you for broadcasting for the race.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the win here tonight. Good luck next week at Texas, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
You as well. So that was your winner here tonight. Brandon Lopez in the 3 machine getting the win here tonight. Just 2 more races. Excuse me. Apologize for that. Just 2 more races remain here in the Trackside NASCAR Outlet ARCA Series in the Doghouse Racing League. Next week we move to Texas. Then our final race of the season will be at Talladega Superspeedway. So you're going to want to hit that notification bell so you know when we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting for those final 2 races. So again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in, whether you watched live or you watched after the fact. We do appreciate you tuning in and joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, thanks to our great partners, again, the Butt Kicker, IntensityRacing.com, Trackside NASCAR Outlet, Group 6, JR Farms, everybody who makes this possible. Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. And of course, as our boy Atlee